The European Union is at a crossroads. Either it's able to grow and boost productivity, or it will continue to lose ground to other major economies. The way forward is clear. Boost competitiveness and make the EU an economic powerhouse.
Comparative advantage, innovation, productivity is the source for the well-being of the Europeans, that we can have a social model, that we can have ambitions in terms of sustainability and CO2 reduction. So productivity is the backbone for the European economy, but also for the European societies.
To achieve this, the European Commission has now unveiled its plan, the Competitiveness Compass, a strategic initiative the EPP Group has long been calling for.
The Competitiveness Compass offers a clear path to boost the European Union's competitiveness for more economic growth, innovation and less red tape.
What is strong about that is that we are now looking to productivity, that we are looking to the burden which we had been placing on industry.
We need to close the innovation gap, reduce bureaucracy and create more quality jobs while fighting the climate change.
The goal is clear. The devil is now in the details. And that is where MEPs say Europe's ambition must match the challenge ahead, starting with drastically cutting red tape.
We need a revolution when it comes to red tape. We need to slash red tape. And that is why EPP suggests and really push for 1 in, 2 out. For each euro you add in cost, you reduce 2. Because then we would actually start reducing the cost for businesses, and that will increase the competitiveness.
And introduce mandatory SME and competitiveness checks to ensure policies work on the ground.
Think about the small companies first, because then you make it as easy as possible. If it's easy for the small, it will be easy for the big ones as well.
Closing the innovation gap comes next. The EPP Group wants EU countries to invest more in R&D, at least 3% of the GDP, to drive innovation.
European countries that spend at least 3% in research and development, they're among some of the most competitive and innovative nations in the world. And we have at least 5 or 6 in the top 10 worldwide. So this means that we have a good way to follow here in Europe.
But innovation alone is not enough. Businesses need capital to grow without leaving Europe. This makes completing the Capital Markets Union urgent.
It is very difficult to grow if you have 27 ways to open a company, 27 different capital markets. So the key also is in uniting those markets. And I very much hope that there is the will and the political support to do that. Honestly, in the next 200 days even of this commission, I think we need to show that this is a priority.
Without that, we will always run the risk that young people go away and that the big growth of businesses that we see at the moment in digital, for example, in AI, happens elsewhere.
On the other hand, Europe will only become truly competitive if it can bring high energy prices down, which are still 2 to 3 times higher than in other non-EU industrialized countries.
One of the reasons for this is certainly over-regulation, why we have great hopes in the clean industrial deal to cut red tape and to get down administrative burdens for the extension of the energy system in Europe.
The scarcity of European energy sources and the costly transition to clean and renewable energies across the continent also plays a role.
We expect rising energy demands by 60% by 2030. So we really need to make sure that we invest and address these structural issues, which also involve high taxation costs, network charges that are extensive.
The silver bullet to Europe's energy independence lies in improving infrastructures and storage capacity and expanding renewables. All this without losing sight of our climate ambitions.
And this we can only achieve if we are open to any technological solution, to all kinds of clean technologies, whether they promote efficiency or they generate energy. So we need to bring this technology neutrality back to the center of our energy policies.
The Competitiveness Compass should also clear the EU's path to the top of this global race. And that undoubtedly involves completing the single market.
We are the biggest and most effective market in the world, but we are not yet a full integrated market. Let's take a company that sells a product. If for this specific product you can use exactly the same advertising, if you can use for that one product exactly the same displays exactly the same delivery methods all over the European Union, you can erase 27 different systems that exist so far, and that makes things easier, faster and cheaper.
This will help put the EU back on track for growth and competitiveness.
We can make it, but we have to speed up our exercises to get there, because the Americans, the Chinese, they are not waiting for us. We have to boost our own possibilities.